Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello.
So this is the first sketchbook. I believe that I started it in May of 2018. I hadn't done a lot of art before then, just because I went to school for art and there was just so much burnout from that. So I took a break after I graduated, and then this is where I started really getting back into it. I love this cover. So yeah, it says that I started this on May 9th. These are swatches of a Holbein watercolor set that I had recently bought at the time. This was referenced off an image on Pinterest, I believe. That's my cat. I would say at this point, I wasn't really sure where I fit in, like in terms of art. I went to school for art, but I ended up doing a lot of like oil paintings, mostly portraits, which I loved, and I was really happy with the work I did, but I felt like it wasn't necessarily me. So at this point I was kind of just experimenting again and trying to, figure out what I was gonna do. These are swatches of Earth Mineral Art's handmade watercolors. They were my first handmade watercolors, and Margot is just like the sweetest person ever, and these paints are gorgeous. Painted this at the Natural History Museum in Pittsburgh. This is on Arch's watercolor paper. I think this was the first sketchbook I ever made with this paper, so I was felt really fancy, but so the majority of these paintings are in watercolor, which is a medium that I've used since I was like really little, but I think at this point is when I tried to start using gouache as well, so half of this is in watercolor and then half of it's in gouache. These are, I think, swatches of Stoneworks Mill paints, which are also lovely. Oh, I did this from life. I know it looks really jank, but my fiance and I went to a state park nearby, and there were 5 deer that were just like hanging out in front of us. It was really cool. You guys can see the gold on this. These are more swatches of Earth Mineral Arts paints. That gold is just like amazing. So yeah, that's it for that one. Super chunky, kind of all over the place because I was still trying to figure out what I was doing. I mean, I don't really ever feel like I'll settle on one style necessarily. I kind of just like trying a lot of things out. So here's the next one. It's really tiny. It's made out of this old leather book, which is why it's falling apart so much. See, but whatever. So yeah, I'm just experimenting again. This is Posca pens, which I don't think I've used since I bought them, but whatever. And as you can see, I rip stuff out, I cover stuff up. I'm never really concerned about that. I kind of think that you should be able to do whatever makes you happy in a sketchbook. That's the whole reason for it, so. They're weird. A lot of this stuff is just plants that, that I've taped in here, which wasn't necessarily the best idea because they're like falling apart and like flaking, but whatever. Random doodles, I guess. This is gouache, I believe. Oh, and I'm really impatient and I use a heat tool to dry my paintings in between layers, so that's what that is. I painted these from life when my, I believe it was just one of my cats was running around. I have two, but this one's my fat one. It for that. Here's the next one. This one is an accordion sketchbook, which I ended up not liking just because I tend to work like on a 2-page spread, so I just felt like this was kind of unnecessary, but it says that I started this July 27th and finished it in August. I was trying to utilize all this space, but I'm not really happy with it, and then I feel like I wasted 4 pages, but that's why I don't use this anymore, or this kind of sketchbook. When I don't know what to paint, I kind of just swatch out colors and weird patterns. And that's it for that. I could have painted on the other side, but again, I just didn't like the format of the sketchbook. But maybe one day I'll fill it out. So this is the last sketchbook that I did in 2018. It contains all of my Inktober work, which was barely Inktober because I didn't even use ink or follow any prompts or anything, but I kind of treat it more of like a 31-day challenge to see if I can draw every day, which I didn't even do that, but you know, whatever. So this is a list of all the prompts. These are Mab's Drawloween prompts, and then this is Drawtober. I kind of just picked whatever I felt like drawing. So I really didn't do a challenge, I just painted, but whatever. I felt like in this sketchbook I kind of was figuring out the type of art that I wanted to do and the types of things that I've been trying to create for a long time, but I didn't have necessarily the skill to do it. This painting in particular I felt like was really me, like it's exactly what I've been wanting to get out there. So it was really, I'm really thankful for this sketchbook and the progress I made in it. But yeah, like I call these little guys my little guys, and my fiance's mom calls them mushroom people, and my grandma calls them shadow friends. So they're just kind of like these weird little people that show up everywhere. Like this one makes me think of Kubo and the Two Strings, which is one of my favorite movies. Oh, and then there's some of this like old book paper in between because I'm really heavy-handed when it comes to paint, actually when it comes to everything, and so like the paper will rub against each other and then the paint like transfers and it's a mess. But this one I painted right when we found out that we had to move, and I was just like drowning in boxes. Should have taken out all those papers, but whatever. I used a lot of like gold and bronze paints back then. I don't really use that stuff anymore, but I like the effect that it gives. What is this? This has gold on it too. I think the gold that I was using is Pure Brass by Earth Mineral Arts. I swatched it in that other book. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Someone said on Instagram that this reminded them of Snape, so that's all I can see now, and I love it. And then this was the very end of Inktober. And I was just trying to fill out some other stuff. This isn't even anything. It's good. All right. So that's it for this video. I hope you like it, and I hope you like seeing the kinds of weird things I paint. I'm hoping I can update more regularly on here, but in the meantime, thanks for watching.